Hello and welcome in. Taking a break from Pro Tour viewing to some Duels playing. Time to put the Elves to the test. Those of you who have been waiting, it's the original Tribal. The deck that got played to death at all levels, from 1 to 40, back when this game first came out. Does it still hold up in the wild and unpredictable meta on Xbox? Let's put it to the test. Weird hand. Let's do it. What could go wrong? No lands would... We could fail to draw lands. That would be wrong. No way this deck wins. Yeah, that's right, Yitz. No way. Not a land. Boo. Alright. Send in the 1-2. Start the countdown. Let's see if we can find more land. Hey, more land. Loam Larva might be a planeswalker deck. Could be a problem. And we gotta decide how to proceed. It's gonna get interesting. How many sweepers are in our future is a big concern that I have. Now that I can cast these pretty freely, I think I just want to turn up the pressure. Let's see what my opponent does if I do this. I'm going to trade up that visionary. Now imagine if I had another renegade. I'd feel pretty good about my turn. Alright, let's see what happens here. If this deck wins Quest for the Best, then no one has ever understood Duels meta, and we should all just quit. Well, we should at least test our theories. We should at least get out there and test our theories, Yet we have to. We have to. But I would find that very interesting. Obviously, this deck's going to go undefeated and win. Obviously. I don't know how you could pick against it. Got Elves, it's got Evolutionary Leap, which this is like one of the only decks left in the whole meta that you see that this card still just holds down. And we actually have, I think we have at least 5 Planeswalkers in this deck as the backup plan, so we'll see what happens. Here comes Loam Larva number 2, so we're up against some Planeswalker-y deck, which means sweepers. We have to understand that. But we can't be afraid. Freedom isn't free. It takes folks like you and me. Shaman. Alright, so this is the interesting turn. We can commit our huntmaster. We can play Leap and or Shaman. We can play Leap and hold up a clue activation. Huntmaster is basically we're all in. Our opponent went and fetched a swamp. I don't believe they have double white. And if they had Radiant Flames, I think they would have already played it, and they put more creatures on the board. So I don't think they have a sweeper. So that tells me, go wide, go strong. Alright, send the team. If he wants to triple block here, I guess that would be very bad for me and I shouldn't have done that. Meh. But let's see. Yep, bad attack. I forgot how to play Elves. Give me a break. Punt. Put a punt count on that. That was wrong. That was just wrong. Has 5-color mono green super friends attempted to get qualified yet? Nope. Oblivion Strike. Boom. Whoa. Interesting target choice. I guess Death Touch is scary. Alright. Yeah, now we're rolling. Should I draw a card first? What would I don't think there's anything I'd rather do. Boom. Run not so silent, but deep. Let's hit some drains. If he wants to eat this, am I okay with that? No, I'm not. I am not okay with that. I very much want this leap on the board, so I'm going to do that instead of cracking a clue. I want it ready to go. 5-color allies will be the top deck. I guarantee that's a no, but that is another deck I had not considered. Fog variants. The best fog deck I have by far is Geist Ramp, and that has to go. Like, that has to get itself out there eventually. So that is one of the only decks I still have a fog in, but it very much is the best of them. Oh yeah. Let's go ham. Why wouldn't we? What do you got? 5-color friends. Bring it all. Bring it all. Let's see. Kitty likes black-white zombies, right on. Who can stand up to General Taziri? Well, I guess I have to somehow build that into the deck, don't I? My opponent's at 5, so if I attack here, what happens? Familiar over here, 1/3 here, 1/1 there. So I get 1 damage through. Doesn't seem good enough. Definitely not good enough, plus we get our opponent another draw. If they don't clean up this board, we just win next turn, so I'm gonna hold back. Ah, Kalitas, that is a pain. And that might make my math here hard. Math hard. Don't know what I'm doing. Alright. We don't have double black for Grasp of Darkness. We don't have an extra land. Evolutionary Leap gives him zombies. Okay. Blocks. Block, 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 block. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but gain 3. But I can sacrifice the creature he blocks with Kalitas to the Evolutionary Leap, and he takes 5 damage. Okay. No lifelinky for you. Always remember the creature actually has to deal the damage to gain the life. If you can remove the blocker, whether it be with your own removal spell or some shenanigan, you can prevent the life gain and not die. Or my opponent would not live, is what I'm saying. So we're going to prevent some life gain on this one. As soon as they figure out their blocks. Leap on token also does not give my opponent a zombie. That is accurate. What else? Larva, you gonna step up? Okay. And we hit a renegade. Living like we're renegades. Boom. 1. On the march to like 20-0, Green-Black Elves gets the first of what is sure to be many. Let's do it again. If only we had Jagged Scar archers. If we had Jagged Scar, dude, this would be broken for sure. But they took Jagged Scar away because they knew. They totally knew. Game 2 of the epic elf run. Who will step up? What will they play? What will we draw? What will they draw? The drama! The drama. Too slow. Not good. Not good. Can I try? Yeah. Yeah. Meh. It says even with Jagged Scar, don't think they beat Mardu. Ha! Come on now, we're never going to lose with this deck. It's basically a sure thing. And I'm joking, of course. Alright, red and red. Scary. I don't like the idea of my elves dying. But let's get busy. That's right, Planeswalker decks are the rich man's elves. We all know that. Yeah, missing land drops, not making plays. That's how we win games when we have to mulligan into a horrible hand. That's how we do it. I wonder if I'm supposed to be ticking up a Nissa here or playing shaman and just getting hella aggressive. And I think the answer is going to be ticking up a Nissa. Although I'll feel ridiculous if he plays land Firecraft. Or Twin Bolt into Twin Bolt for that matter. I really need this Nissa. This Nissa needs to pull me out of a hole. And we have a concession. I mean, I've got to at least see it through. They discarded Johnny? Ow, just wow. Get on the board. I still feel like I'm a sweeper away from having a handful of nothing, and that is true. Well, hey, I'm mulligan. My opponent apparently just kept a horrible hand. And it is a clifftop retreat. So we know there's some kind of a Naya Planeswalker-y vibe. Chandra. Ew. Okay, well that's going to make Nissa's job a lot harder. There's a liberator, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it down, send this squad. AI should probably block a 1-2, and so that way we get our liberator on the revolt side of things, and then we're just, our board is massive. Imagine if you got the Hour of Devastation card, but we didn't, so elves will dominate. Immaculate Magistrate for the taunting elf is hilarious. Word. It was also hilarious for the, whatever, the Jiraga Warcaller. Yeah, that was combo. That was combo. Alright, come on, Chandra. Pull him out of a hole here. Pyramid of the Pantheon. Of course, that's how you cast your Ajani. No doubt. Sacred Cat, why not? This deck is, what, cat-themed because it has a Johnny and Chandra likes cats? I don't know. It's beyond me. It's all beyond me now. Go get me another shaman. Pump the squad and finish him. 2. Yes! Exactly 5. 2 up, 2 down. I already feel like I want to play this deck a little more gutsy and a little less good. I have to change it, I think. I have to at least look at some changes, because I'm already like, I'm playing too many good cards. This isn't Elves. This isn't the way it should be. So what are my non-elfy things? Grasp. Why would I remove stuff? Too good. Lily. Probably too cheap. We can also really trim down our black and not worry so much about drawing double black. I do like the top-end Planeswalker game, but kind of the mid-level Planeswalker game, I don't know. We should probably just run Elves, though. What are we doing? I'm just crazy. Let's see, if we run that, and then we're down here, then we can run some of those black 1-drops. Right? I mean, is that bad? Check this out. Actually, let's see, we have 29 creatures, so screw the black 1-drops, maybe. Let's get in there. Some of these, that's how you win. You just one-shot them like that. That's a lot better. And then our black is very splashy, so we can drop it quite a bit. So what are we running right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. 12 is pretty darn low, but I think we'll be okay. Alrighty, let's get more aggressive, less grindy. You feel it's cheating for me to make the deck worse? And more theme-tastic? I don't know. They're my decks. I get to change my decks. I'll be honest, I haven't tested this. I usually put some games in with every deck I play, but I think I only played this deck once. And I'm just looking at the hands I've drawn, I'm like, double black cards? That's pretty stupid. What am I doing with my life? And Might of the Masses, what am I doing there? Just don't ask. I don't know anymore. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But we'll see. If it costs me a game, if I'd rather have had a Grasp of Darkness and the man I play it, well, you can laugh at me. I guess I have to try this. It's not the... I mean, hopefully these visionaries fix our hand a bit. You can call me Kit, okay. Liana deals with the dead, so she might have a connection to cats. Cats always seem to be tied to the afterlife and death. Yeah, Liliana is a cat person. There is no... She is not a dog person, that I guarantee. Gideon's a dog person. And Nissa is probably all the animals type if we're trying to nail it down. Sweet, land off the top, feeling fresh. Let's start the pain train. Is Liliana a jackal person? Nah, cats. Gotta be cats. Dead cats, zombie cats. What was that cat in Deadwalkers in 2014? It was a black cat that was a zombie cat. It had a name. Whenever it died, the opponent had to discard a card at random. That's her cat, is what I'm trying to say here. That's her cat. Alright, so we got options. We can play this Leap. We can play this Liberator without Revolt. I think what I want to do is play another Visionary. Just keep the curve out coming, and then we'll get Huntmaster down next turn. Let's show him another black. Black Cat. Duh. It's just called Black Cat. Oopsie daisy. I don't think Gideon likes horses that much. He'd definitely like a good golden retriever type. I'm calling that right now. Oh wow, it's a mirror. What? How did I not see it coming? It's so obvious. It's a mirror match, and my opponent has a trump card. My opponent has a mirror trump card. What do I do? Alright, so it's discard a card, -X, where X is the number of elves you control. At least we're lucky right now, there's only one. So, am I supposed to spike this? I think I am, and hope that my opponent can't get up to 3 elves and have a discard a card to kill it next turn. But man, they got me. They are on me right now. They are on to my tricks. They are on to my stuff. All right. It is on. Yellow Cucho, how you doing? We're in an elf mirror, obviously. The meta is just elf decks right now. Just Lissalana Scarblade taking over the meta. Huntmaster, you know, everything says Lissalana and elf on it. That's just the way things are. Oh my. Well, I'm not blocking. What are we talking about here? Wild size? Man, there's no reason to block. And it is a Rex Sage with no target. I feel so gleeful. Now, our Gilt Leaf Winnower is trumped. Like, oh, wow. But our Winnower is totally trumped right now. You know this, because it destroys target non-elf creature. So this is garbage. And this takes 2 green, so we have a leftover black. Probably the best use of our turn is... we have to use both our green. I guess I could just drop the Gilt. I mean, that's the best. That's just the best. Or is it better to make a pair of tokens, probably trade something here? If we get Revolt, and I play both of these, then we have so much power and toughness that next turn this comes out, and that's even better. Like, that gets us the most out of our Huntmaster this turn if our opponent kills it. So I think I'm making that play. And with that play, we can attack first safely. Our opponent's tapped out, so we know we're not going to lose the Huntmaster. And we can see if we can trigger this Revolt. No. Revolt denied. Revolt denied. But I don't think that changes the play. We could play this. And then we have the Menace threat. I guess that's super mana efficient. I mean, it's not going to get better. But maybe we'll hold it just in case Kali decides to party. Alright, let's get wide. Don't want me around. I always knew that Avatar was an elf. Faced the green leaf Avatar the other day. He was playing Redburn. I felt cheated. He got you. He totally got you. Humans, goblins, orcs, gremlins, anything but elves. True. That's right. There's a murder. So my opponent believes in the double black removal spells. We'll see how that works out. They had the murder. Now they have the Scarblade. Yeah, but that should not kill Dwynen, right? One more time. -X, where X is the number of elves. Now that won't do it. So let's get aggro. Power up the squad. Boom. Where's your fog? Bring out your fogs. Humans are weak. Haha. Good comment. Goblins blow themselves up. Humans are weak. Orcs are a war race. It would make it hard for them to breed. Elves are vanilla 1/1 tokens. That's pretty weak. Got a lot of hatred. A lot of hatred out there for the elf tribe. I don't know, man. We're rolling a lot better than we did with anything other than humans. The Boros deck that we played earlier this week. That was rolling. That was rolling. But this deck... unless something changes right now, unless they pack that languish tech, we'll accept that concession. I guess they don't pack that languish tech. If you had to pick one race to play within all of Magic, what would it be? Creature race only. You know, if Battle for Zendikar was going to release tomorrow, I would say Eldrazi, but since we've had it for about 2 years, I'm sick of them. So what's another race? I remember Rebels, when that was a thing. That was epic. The Sultari, I believe, were the ones who had shadow, which means they could only be blocked by other creatures with shadow. That was screwed up. Slivers. I'll just go with slivers. I'd probably win a lot. Changeling, that's a good answer. Now, not 2014 slivers. That was garbage. That was pure garbage. I mean, some people would probably never get tired of playing goblins. Like Goblin Gangland from 2013. That deck was basically unbeatable. Maybe you could come up with a win against it every now and then with a great draw, but over the course of time, that deck just beat everything. This hand is not great, but this is kind of a redraw. This might stop a vehicle thing. I don't know. Am I supposed to keep this hand? I'm going to. It's hard for me to mulligan away a decent curve and 3 lands and 2 castables. Somebody says hydras. You guys are weird. Elemental tribal with Omnath. There's something to consider. Great elemental lords. Illusions. the Master of Illusion decks. Basically Jace, but that was before the Gatewatch went nuts. Elves, of course. Why wouldn't we do elves? It's just that great. Our opponent's going to dig up a waste, so they've got a super secret evil plan. And I can't wait to see what it is. And green waste, okay. Maybe I can get them to Warping Whale my visionary. And we've drawn 2 black cards in a row without a black source. We'll see if this punishes us for changing our mana base a little. Hit me with something good. Yeah, 3 black cards in a row off the top when we keep a hand with 1 black card and no black source. That's duels. That's the duels life. Pilgrimage, it's on. We're gonna get ramped right out of this game if we don't draw a black source. It's basically over. Not even close. Just epic fail. It'll all be up to top deck in a black. Guess I should have taken another look at that hand. Oh my goodness, he's gonna love this. Check out my hand, bro. Check me out. Check me out, bro. Oh yeah. Yep. Got all my black cards right here. I only play 5. No! No! How? What are the odds? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I basically drew my 4 black card. I drew every black card in the deck off the top here. Oh my lord, this is one for the record books, everybody. This is the only way Elves can lose, and we haven't lost yet. Like we top deck a black and we just start draining this guy. He's supposed to be attacking. I don't care what you say. You got to get this over with. That's not black. Oh no. We just drew every black card in the deck. That's what happened. And we drew 4 of them in a row. Like, if these had been in my hand, I would have mulliganed for sure. But no, you had to draw them right off the top. You got a Hydra. Yippee. Even sandbag the land. Good for you. Alright, swamp right here. It's the only chance. Untap black source. I think there's only 6 of those. Okay. Well, that's gonna die, so let's tick it up. At least make things scary. Or down, I mean. I meant to say down. Get things a little scary here. But at least we drew a green card. What were the odds? We only run about 30 of them. Opponent going off with the fat. Let's see if they decide to turn something sideways sometime. Uh-huh. What's it gonna be? Oh, no attack. Okay. Sure. Black. Nope. Denied. Just screwed out of a chance here. That's what it is. We drew half the forest in our deck. We drew every black card in our deck. It's so Duels. This is so Duels. Only Duels gives you hands like this. Ulamog, Walking Ballista. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's what I get for messing with the deck. Yeah, whatever. This is it's not my fault. This is a once in a million opportunity for you to see a hand like this. I'm sick of this. Let's see. If I draw it now, he's gonna kill 2 things. Then I play shaman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. Yeah, I can't win. I'm already dead. And he's gonna take forever, so I'm not interested. There's the loss. Now let's go lose another. Yep, that was great. That's why that's what happens when you trim your black down to a splash, but keep 12 sources. You just draw your 5 black cards and no mana. It's awesome. My opponent's even sending me LOLs. That's how pathetic that was. And of course we have to take it out on a 4 rank. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. All I want is a rematch, and all I ever get is a 4 rank. If that. I get like a 1 rank, a 2 rank, whatever. I guess 4 rank is higher than average then for this type of game, but man does it make me upset. Alright. Let's go get our black mana. And our opponent will lead with the guide, because they know how to fix mana. I don't have a decent play coming. He makes that a 2/2. I wonder if I'm supposed to drop the elite. With a Nissa, I'm tempted. Yeah, I think we just get something on the table. Yeah, there are swamps in the deck. I didn't take them all out. Though you might be confused by what you just saw. Ronus's Monument. Of course we don't have a Reclamation Sage this time. Come on now. Where's my Rec Sage? It's awkward now because Nissa, I could play Nissa here, and what would happen is she would just be in a lot of trouble if the opponent plays a creature. They play 2 creatures, there's just no chance. So better off waiting on the Nissa. Well, I guess I can attack first and see what my opponent does. If they block, I can play Nissa. Alright, no blocked, so no Nissa. I think I'll play Shaman here, just because I want the board presence. Ronus's Monument implies that we might be going up against some big creatures in a race, and giving up some board presence would not be the best thing I could do. Shard would also like to point out that it's not unlikely for the opponent to have haste. I agree. There's the Churd Chieftain. The Kurd Chieftain, everybody. The Kurd Chieftain. A beefy dude, but no forest. Interesting. Rootbound Crag not being a forest. So just a 3/3. Off the top. Forest. Okay. Well, I can attack through him if I play this guy. this dude, this guy. The other option would be to play this and set up for the future. But I like attacking here. My opponent at 16 probably can't afford to go to 10, but they might. Let's see what happens. Kurdish people confirmed red. Yes, I do mean 9, not 10. Often what comes out of my mouth is not what I was actually thinking. It's just part of the whole Twitch thing that just happens to me. Kurd number 2. Keep the attacks coming, you betcha. But that is not a very good attack, or we will simply turn around and attack with our creatures and gain 2 life. Might of the Masses. Not quite ready yet. But just in case. Yep, you weren't ready for elves. Opponent in the tank. And I'm fine with that happening. I can save this for something else. It might make sure that these don't die to some kind of a direct damage spell, which is pretty much what red is confined to. And green with fight mechanics. So might can keep these much more kind of high value targets alive. Smuggler's Copter. Well, at least this 3 rank knows how to put a copter in the deck. They're playing the best cards that they probably have. We will try to give gold if given the opportunity. Alright, so there's that. Can't pick that thing off right now. I go up to 9, 10, 11. I can attack for lethal, but it won't work if my opponent blocks, and I think they will. I think that's pretty much a sure thing. So I'll just get this on the battlefield. And we'll see if we can, if the opponent wants to no block, we might get a lethal. But probably not. Yep, gonna dial up the copter. That's gonna be the blocks. Here comes the loot. Let's see what you discard. It is a Primal Bellow with no forests. Awkward. Oh, Primal Bellow for 0. Not the way they want it. Kid likes Izzet deck, then Thermo Alchemists. Yeah, I have a lot of Izzet decks still in the chamber. I think Thopters is the next one as we go back through the tribes in Magic history. Gift of Paradise. A lot of mana fixing. Some kind of an awkward ramp deck I'm getting the vibe for. And there is a Voice of Zendikar of my opponent's. So make a plant. Yep. Can we still get in for the lethals? I think we can. Alright, so we'll play our renegade. Voice. Minus. And, oh, shoot, I was about to concede, but opponent didn't give me the chance. Denied. All right, we roll on. We have 4 wins, 1 loss. So this game is for all the marbles. Do we delete the elf deck, or do we continue to play the elf deck? This is the question. At least they beat you at something, the first to concede. It's just so salty about the elves. Just hates the elves, man. Just bringing the hatred, spewing that hate speech against the green creatures. Is it bad that I'm hoping you lose? It's fine. It's an affront if this deck qualifies. There is nothing wrong with cheering against me if you don't like the deck. I absolutely have no problem with that. Magic Duels makes me sad. Just makes me want to play real life Magic, but I have no friends around here, and I don't like trying to make new friends. Well, me either, dude. Dude or dudette, whoever. But yeah, my story too. I have no interest in making new Magic friends. So this is my way to play Magic. That doesn't make me sad. I get pretty hyped about it. Right on, dude. Thank you. I don't want to be assuming. I know it's like 98% of my viewers are male, but there are 2% out there that get way more offended than the 98% if I leave them out. All right, Fatal Push. Not yet. Not enough cards in Magic Duels. It's a lot more than it used to be, man. We've got a lot of cards now compared to where this game came from. So, you won't see me being unhappy about it. Alright, you want to kill this? Give me some revolt action? I would appreciate it. Denied. Alright, well in that case, I'll hang on to the Liberator for one more turn, see if we can get the revolt action. And we'll draw a card with this Visionary. And we'll play this Forest. And we're on the move! Yeah, we have... It's not way more than standard because we only get portions of a set. It's actually going to be... We'll have more than standard, though, when standard rotates. So we'll have that going for us as a community. All right. Lord of the Accursed. Black mana. Thinking. Let's send them in. Do we get Revolt? I don't know if the opponent can block here. They're going to. And I'm not going to use my Might of the Masses in this spot either. I'm going to use the Revolt. And get a big old 4/3. Let's see. Stuck on one swamp could be hurting this deck. But let's see what Blue Man does. We got a Gravedigger with nothing in the yard. Not where you want to be. Not the place of happiness. And speaking of not the place of happiness, that's me drawing all this land. Not the place of happiness. I think I keep attacking though. Keep my aggressive posture. Okay, I thought we might see something like that. So I think I'm gonna trade my liberator with the gravedigger and the Lord of the Accursed. Well, I guess that's a 2 for 2. Or I could just take out the gravedigger and keep the liberator. Is it more important I keep the battlefield? I could be up 2-0, or I could be up 3-1. I guess a bigger battlefield is just better for the elf deck. Also closer to Westvale Abbey. So we'll do that. Not quite where you want to be, though. And I agree. Doing inefficient plays feel bad. But look what I had to do to deal with it. So that should make you feel better if you're rooting against me. I had to use a Might of the Masses there because my deck just wants to feed me lands. And, well, we dehydrated. Where's my Rex Sages, for the love of Pete? Don't I run those cards? Come on. Awkward. But let's power up. Good old Sylvan Advocate is still a good card. Could punch him an extra 4, but I don't think it's worth it. And your move. Opponent needs a big turn. Big turn. Gravedigger for Gravedigger, perhaps? It's gotta be better than a dehydration. Another zombie. Well, pair 3/4s. Let me think. Attack with that, so he takes these and dies. Alright. Not quite. How about now? I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't do 8. But he might let one of the bigger ones through to block the Nissa, and then he would die. So, alright, let's go for it. They never expect a second Might of the Masses. Just like I never expect the select for inspection that would save my opponent here, but let's put it to the test. Hit it! Hit the button! Yes! Qualified. So, there you have it. There you flippin' have it. Does the on-the-stick walkers flipping trigger revolt? It does, because they leave the battlefield, they are exiled, and then they return to the battlefield. So yes, it does trigger revolt. Good question. Do. Let's see what's up in the Magic verse. It's 7:30. Magic is gonna start again at the PT in about half an hour, so I gotta go make my dinner. So I am gonna call it. I'm gonna call this particular one, but I want to try a different iteration of Elves next time. I want to get more black and more aggressive. I want to balance the colors a little more. So I'm gonna just tinker for a second. You don't have to love it, and you don't have to think it's fair, but it is my show. So I get to do things like tinker with the decks. Yeah, I want to try you again. I just want it more aggressive. I feel like it's taking too long is my big old problem with it. Let's see. I don't know that these are good cards necessarily. They're probably pretty bad. but they're interesting. Timberland guide as elves, basically. But I want to cut the curve down. I don't want to be big elves. I want to be fast elves. And this is the one thing where I'm like, I don't know. Could be interesting, but too slow. Maybe play one of those. You didn't do anything. You take too long. You're a good card. These might be too slow. I do love my evolutionary leap. So I also like my deck's very pure. I'm not gonna lie. Just very, very pure. And maybe the revolt elves aren't that important here. I mean, we're 12 up. Never flipped an abbey. Probably not necessary. 10 cards. What are the 10 cards down here that kind of suck? Well, we definitely don't need full max out quantity of most of this stuff. This can probably be a 2 of. We can cut a pair, at least for now. Actually, I don't usually do. These can definitely cut one more too. These can probably go down to a pair. You can go to a pair. No big deal. And we're sitting at 3. 34 creatures. Pretty glorious. So there's no way the leaps are going anywhere. Yep. At this point, I think these can hit the bricks. Then we're down to a 1 of. Rex Sage is super high variant, so maybe it's not what is needed. I also want one of these for... Somebody's got to show up when Kalitas hits the battlefield, right? Although we beat a Kalitas without this. Maybe I don't need a Guilt Leaf. Yeah, maybe you're just not necessary. Maybe we'll curve out better without you. And 10, 14 each is fine. Okay. Doing it, I think. We're still really low on black cards. Like, I want to balance the color wheel a little bit. So what can I do to do that? I guess we just roll without Rex Sage, and if our opponent plays enchantments, we just run them over. Revival spells? Nah, why get stuff back when we can just play more? That's how elves are meant to be. So yeah, this feels like a much more get on the battlefield, kill them fast, super swarmy deck. I like it. Alright, I want to play that deck in the future. Seems much more fun to me. Alright, let's see, what have I got for time? 7:37. I should get going. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of Elves. Hang out. Gonna watch the Pro Tour starting in about 20-some minutes. I'm gonna go make my food. And you know I'll be back with more videos in the future. Later all.